right, the governor there, and he's also, thanked the collaboration of the military and all the security forces for the safe return of the children. I mean, there's a lot of questions about whether or not they were 138 or 137. In that same video, a young girl who the governor spoke with said that they were 138, but unfortunately, one of their teachers died. If we can play that video for a short moment.
Yeah, kicking on SS2. That's very good. So da aka dauke ku dukkan ku an tafi da ko? Dukkan kun dawo lafiya ko? Rike ba wanda ya bace ko?
Ba wanda ya bace.
Ko akwai wanda ya bace?
A'a.
Ko nawa ne gaba daya?
Dukkan mu 138 ne, amma mu 137 muka dawo.
To sai ɗaya ne Allah miki da su?
Ɗayan malamin mu ne Allah ya mai rasuwa a can.
Allah ya sani shi Allah ya sani.
Amin.
Ba su dai musu na muku ba ko?
A'a, ba su mana komai ba, gaskiya ba su taba mata. Cewa ma suka yi duk wanda ta masa kazafin su taba ta, Allah ya isa ba su yake mata ba.
Allah sarki. Allah sarki, muna godiya. Kun da kuma kamar da kike sani kin da kike miki zai karanta.
Ina so in karanci likita.
Likitan medicine kenan.
We thank God for her life. She did say there in that video that the bandits did not molest her or any of the girls that were abducted. The governor here, as well as security forces, have said that there were 137 students that were released. And so that is the official number. Well, in the meantime, the president welcomed the news of the release of the students and re-emphasized the importance of collaboration between the federal government and states for expected outcomes, especially on matters of security. He commended the National Security Advisor, the security agencies, and the Kaduna State government for their diligence with which they handled the situation. Well, Tinubu, in a post on X, wrote, "I once again assure Nigerians that my administration is deploying detailed strategies to ensure that our schools remain safe sanctuaries of learning and not lairs for wanton abductions. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria." Well, Atiku Abubakar commended the efforts of those responsible for the release of the school children and called for the strengthening of the security architecture around our schools. His tweet reads in part, "We also do not need to wait for the next incident before putting mechanisms in place to forestall it. To this end, I recommend the strengthening of the Safe School Initiative that prioritizes the protection of schools, especially in the areas that are most vulnerable to mass kidnap of school children. But above all, there should be an overhaul of the security architecture to meet the demands of the threats facing us." Well, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, in a series of tweets, said the reports of the students' release is reassuring to the nation and their parents. He thanked the government and security agencies for securing the release of the students, urging that every Nigerian must be safe. His tweet reads in part, "We must ensure that every Nigerian is safe in Nigeria by not giving terrorists any operating space in our nation. No Nigerian should ever be a captive or hostage anywhere in his fatherland. I encourage every Nigerian in the midst of these dark and fearful nights in our nation, where danger seems to be lurking on every corner, to remain hopeful for the new dawn of a secure and safe nation, the new Nigeria, which is possible." Well, Rufai, I mean, there are other tweets on social media, but I wanted to come to you because, I did read your tweet, and your question was quite pertinent. You asked, how is it possible that we keep on hearing the release of these children? Why have we not heard of the arrests of the abductors? And I think that is the main point here.
And it's pure and simple, Audrey, because you see, I think what we have built is we've built a war ecosystem, a war economy. We're here when we covered the Kagara boys case. We're here, since I started working in Arise, we've had these episodes of kidnapping. At least I can remember about 3 or 4 mass abductions like that. And in the end, a deal is reached. You never, for once, hear that the terrorists that took them on were decimated or killed in the attack. All you keep hearing is there were negotiators. They brought the boys back. After bringing the children back, that's all. So is it that we are waiting for the next kidnapping to happen? Is it that we are not asking ourselves, where is the next one going to happen? So if you don't do that, and if you keep supporting these ones, I mean, you heard what Commander Olawa, he said that they should come and challenge him. He, not my words, his words claimed that they paid ransom. Because you can't just say that they gave up the people like that. And after going through all this risk. So what are we going to do to be able to stop this ecosystem and their accomplices? Because they have a lot of accomplices. There are many cases of you applying an action against them, these terrorists, at the next stage, they already have intel. Across board in the villages and all of that. So when are we going to put a stop to it? Is this how we're going to keep shelling out money for people to be able to buy things? I mean, based on Commander Olawa's assertion that they probably pay ransom. So we'd like to ask, why is that we have never heard that the government went in there, after they recovered the people, they went out for those people, they killed them, they hurt them?
Yeah, we heard last week, though, that there was a gun duel. We don't know about the injury in Kaduna State. There was some sort of gun duel between the terrorists and the security forces, and they were able to rescue about 16 abducted
okay, so that's one case. I'm happy.
Kaduna State,
I'm happy. Yeah. But I'm talking about the mass abductions.
Yes.
The mass abductions. In the case of Kangara, I'm not sure I heard a gun duel. In this case, I'm not sure I heard a gun duel. Because in the end, only God knows how much this cash is moved. Secondly, I would like to call on the NFIU. Can we have an algorithm in place that tracks transactions in these hotspot zones in such a way that if an unusual transaction comes to a certain account that has not been before, we can track the pattern and call these people for questioning? Because you need to also be able to move this. That's apart from the informal system at which this money changes hands, where you have money in foreign currencies, is passed across money chains and across the African continent. Most of this cash are carried across camels and things like that. Yeah. So we need to have a proper identity, because if we do not replace, just like we're talking about the Niger Delta,
yes,
if we do not replace this ecosystem of theft, of banditry, then it will only continue.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at one of the stories you're going to do. Look at the Binance case. How can somebody that is arrested in the Nigerian detention escape with another person? And there were guards there.
Yeah, you can speak about the Binance case.
The truth is, you will know.
Yeah.
And from investigations, there should be some level of complicity.
Yes.
Let's not deceive ourselves. How can somebody held by the Nigerian state?
Apparently, he had his passport, his international passport, with the DSS. But obviously, you can escape if you apply for another passport.
I heard
obviously.
he escaped using a Kenyan passport.
Oh, with a well, we're not sure about that.
How? I mean, that's one of the reports.
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
So how can somebody held by the Nigerian state escape? So there's a lot of complicity across the chain.
Right.
Another question is, I remember when something like this happened under Olusegun Obasanjo, that Charles Taylor that was held escaped. They arrested him back because Obasanjo was like, go straight after them and bring it. So how can someone that was held by the Nigerian state? So is it that we can't hold somebody while he goes through his case?
Yeah. Well,
so those are the many complicities we are looking at in the system, and we need to ask questions.
Yeah. People are calling it prison break season 1. But
it must be Schofield.
Schofield. But we must commend the security forces, because it was not only in Kaduna State that scores were released. I mean, people were released also in Sokoto State. So kudos to the security forces as well. But in Delta State, the Nigerian police force over the weekend confirmed the death of 6 of its officers who were killed in an ambush a few weeks ago. The ambush was said to have occurred in Ughelli North local government area of the state. Well, according to the spokesman for the police force, the bodies of the 6 slain officers have been recovered, while the search for 6 other officers missing in action is ongoing. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has directed the deployment of all necessary resources and personnel to apprehend those responsible for killing the officers. The development comes just days after 17 soldiers of the Nigerian Army were killed in Ughelli South local government area of Delta State. I must say that as a Deltan, I am outraged at these killings and, insecurity going on in my state. Well, I hope that the security forces get their act together and apprehend those responsible for this. I understand that about 5 of them have been apprehended. Dr. Abati.
Well, I think, again, this is what we say when we talk about the reign of impunity, the reign of anarchy, creeping anarchy in the land, when uniformed officers are no longer safe. 17 soldiers killed, 6 policemen murdered, in a horror forest, we were told, again in Delta State. And then 6 other policemen are also missing. So last week, it was 17 soldiers. Now this week, although it took the Nigeria police almost a whole month to confirm that these persons died and that another 6 are missing. And then in Imo State, 2 additional policemen were also killed. And, it's very discouraging for people who are in uniform. But each time it happens, we have the defense headquarters saying it will investigate and fish out the culprits. You have the police also issuing a statement through their spokesperson saying that the entitlement of these policemen will be paid and that they will be honored when they have police awards later, I think in July, and that the Inspector General of Police has expressed condolences to the affected families. I mean, nobody should die needlessly. Just the same statement that was made, by children who were kidnapped in Kaduna State and the 16 kidnapped in Sokoto State. That, look, everybody should be safe in this country. And that is the major challenge that government faces. And it's just as well that President Tinubu continues to reassure everyone. I refer to the last paragraph in the statement he issued in the Kaduna case, saying that, look, his government will put strategies in place, but something has to be done very quickly too. Uniformed men should be protected. I mean, there should be that trust between, uniformed men and the community. But things have gone so awry, so bad in this country that the people themselves do not trust the policemen. And as Commodore Lawumi, who was on this program, was saying, look, there is everything has been politicized, everything has been ethnicized, and nobody is safe, not even the people in uniform. That is the level, of anomy and creeping anarchy that Nigeria, confronts. As for the children who were rescued, well, I think the defense headquarters and all the parties involved, yes, they deserve all the praises. But the thing is to prevent this kind of situation. And of course, nobody believes that money did not exchange hands. The Commodore who was here, Commodore Lawumi, who had worked before in defense intelligence, said, well, it doesn't happen like that. People were asking for a ransom of 1 billion naira. They can't just have a good mind and just release the children like that. But it is important that these pupils have been released. Some of their parents even died in the process. The reports indicate that there was a woman who had 4 children kidnapped, and that the woman became so anxious, she gave up the ghost. Now, that's what Nigeria does to people. And that is why, the government has a responsibility to make this environment safe for everybody, whether uniformed men or bloody civilians who also have rights under the Constitution.
We are not bloody civilians. Let's not amplify it. We are not bloody civilians.
We're just civilians.
That's what the uniformed people call it.
Stop calling us that.
No. do you agree?
We reject it. We are not bloody civilians. We're regal civilians.
Well, again, may those who have departed in this really sad incident, may their souls rest in peace. We'll take another story. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who will be turning 72 on Friday, March 29th, has cancelled his birthday celebrations and has urged friends and well-wishers across the country not to organize any celebratory event on his behalf or in his name. The president's special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, made the announcement in a statement released on Sunday. The president said he appreciates the honor of being the leader of Africa's leading nation, but will use the occasion of his birthday to reflect and rededicate himself to the task of building a more stable, more secure, and united Nigeria in the wake of the recent killing of the officers and men of the armed forces and police in Delta State, and the recent spate of security breaches by criminal elements in different parts of Nigeria. The president further urged that there should be no form of birthday event and placing of birthday goodwill advertorial messages in newspapers, radio, or television, and enjoined friends and associates who may wish to place goodwill advertorials to kindly donate the money to a charity organization of their choice. In this name, you were saying something.
Good one.
I think this is completely
very
amazing, Vimbai. I mean, this is so statesmanly.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the, I feel like it's the best news we've heard so far
Very
in
good
this.
one.
I mean,
Very
the fact that he's also asked for them to
Yeah.
make donations to charity, I think it is. But it's not the first time we've seen, you know, the president. At the time, I believe when he turned 70, he cancelled his birthday because of the Kaduna attacks. It's not the first time we are seeing that he's sensitive about, you know, situations like this and the state of the nations. Well, we wish him a happy birthday, which is coming up on
happy 72.
72.
Yeah, should we
72.
say, usually there shall be implications.
Well, he said
He
no,
said no
just donate to
implications.
charity.
You know,
Vimbai, go ahead.
our brother is a young man
Yeah.
looking fit for 72, you know, 72 years
Yes.
old.
I think
Yes.
it's so important to read the room at times like this,
I
which
love
is what's
it.
done, and we haven't really gotten that consistently
Right.
from this administration. So it's a good gesture. The question is, will people listen? You know, this is the time that people use to try and elicit favor and to try and get into the good books. So hopefully the people he is appealing to will listen and will do the needful. But it's in light of all the other developments that are going on, definitely a good one, a positive development.
Absolutely, I agree with you. But you know, these are television stations, Dr. Abati, and the newspapers. You know, they receive a lot of those adverts at this time, and you know, I don't know what will happen. Will people listen like Vimbai asks?
But the choice that the president has made in the matter,
I love
is
it.
in keeping with the times.
Yes.
I mean, he's commander-in-chief. He has lost, you know, 17 soldiers in Delta.
Absolutely.
He has lost 12 policemen. You know, 6 died, 6 missing. So this is definitely not the time, you know, for any loud celebration. And in terms of, you know, modesty that he has been preaching, I think it's good signaling on the part of the president. But, you know, it's just that, yes, I get your point. Media houses will have, you know, made a kill
Yes.
from advertisement. But I think the choice that he has made is in order.
Yes.
You know, but I know that, well, I don't know, you know. Maybe you celebrate. You celebrate the president for us on Friday. You
I don't know why I
implications.
always have to be put into this
Because
mess.
this is-
But you are the.
72.
You can provide implications.
What is the emphasis with 72? Speak your mind.
No, I say
So on Friday we can have a small get together.
But the president has warned against it. What is the
We are
problem?
not making noise.
No.
We
Listen
just
to
do
me.
it here.
No.
Tabati,
The
we
money that
have
you are
our
going to use.
colloquial
Wait,
on
hold
air.
on.
Colloquial.
The president said the money you use to buy cake and implications just go to charity.
No,
Donate the money to charity.
God continue to kill him and
Well,
bless
all right.
him.
Good one on the president. And again, congratulations. Happy 72nd birthday. Well, all
Happy
right.
birthday, Mr. President.
Well, all right. We'll take our final story in the United Kingdom. As the world continues to send words of support to the Princess of Wales, Catherine, after she revealed last Friday that she had been diagnosed with cancer, a former royal spokesman, Paddy Haverson, has asked the public to give the Prince and Princess of Wales time to heal, saying that the world has to remember that they are not just an institution, but also human beings and a family. Catherine revealed on Friday that she had begun treatment after weeks of speculation about her condition. She said cancer was discovered after she underwent abdominal surgery. Details of the cancer have not been disclosed, but Kensington Palace says it is confident the princess will make full recovery. The news comes 6 weeks after King Charles paused his public appearances following a cancer diagnosis himself. Catherine has not attended any official events since Christmas and has faced public speculation about her health since her operation in January. A photograph of her and her children released on Mother's Day was met with a frenzy on social media due to inconsistencies in the picture. You know, a lot of people that have trolled Catherine on social media have apologized to her, and I think that it is important to be really careful and sensitive in cases like this.
Kim Kardashian apologized.
I mean, I don't know if Kim Kardashian is part of
Well,
the
she
people
was
that,
coming out
that
to
would
say
have
that I'm going to
apologized.
look for Kate.
Yes, but why? But you know, she's the queen of Photoshop. What's her issue at this point, if that's the problem, Kim Kardashian? Because she was thrilled because of that picture that she put out there on social media, Catherine. And, you know, they said that she photoshopped her children in the picture. But she came out to apologize that she does experiment sometimes. But, you know, the most important thing is that at this moment, we wish her, you know, quick recovery.
I don't think anybody believes that she's the one who photoshopped the picture. I think a lot of the outrage is the fact that the royal family do always seem to find somebody to throw under the bus when there's a mishap. And it's unfortunate that somebody who's just gotten such a life-threatening diagnosis is being thrown under the bus for all of these PR gaffes that continue to happen with the royal family.
Well, first, they were asking where is Kate. Second, she showed up. They said she photoshopped the picture. Then she came and said, she has cancer and she's taking a preventive chemotherapy, and then people started trolling her.
Again.
You know, so it's the awesome burden of the crown. Yeah. You know, big institution, but we almost also realize that these people are human beings.
Absolutely.
3 members of the royal family down with cancer, trying to treat cancer. So, but it's the burden you get when you belong to such an institution. In fact, you know, some of the papers today were even saying that the Russian and the Chinese are the one engaged in disinformation, that they are part of it, you know, just to destabilize the British society. So this is the burden that people in high places bear, but we wish her healing and recovery.
We wish her quick healing.
My heart goes out to you, Kate. It's not an easy one, and also to the King of England, it's not an easy one. Once people are sick, you know, I think you, one, owe them the privacy to go through their illness, and secondly, empathy. Forget all of that. You see, there is nothing to this life. If she, you know, survived this, or if otherwise happened, then you will know that death is more than life.
Death is more than life.
Death ends our humanity. So, in the spirit of this, let's just let her be. Let her breathe.
Absolutely.
Please.
On that
let's
note,
forget all of this.
On that note,
sickness doesn't know public figure.
Absolutely.
Please.
I like that. Sickness
doesn't know public
especially
figure.
cancer.
Yeah, cancer doesn't know anybody.
But thank God that
please.
it's no longer a death sentence as before. I'd like to.
We are all human.
Absolutely.
Human.
Absolutely. But I'd like to thank you all for a great analysis on what's trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on what's trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.